welcome y'all to Backwoods Obscura, a podcast dedicated to the lore, legends, and myths surrounding the creatures that may lurk in your backyard. My name's Hewitt.
I'm Chris.
How you doing?
I'm doing all right. $3,000 poorer. But
I know that pain.
Yeah, I think we talked about this last time, but it's still hurting.
Yeah, I mean, well, let's just put it this way. $3,000 is nothing to shake a stick at.
Yeah. I mean, it hasn't been so bad. I mean, the car's running good, so that's good. Honestly, it's been mostly a chill week. I've been checking up on, like, the analytics and stuff and trying to figure out, okay, maybe if, like, you know, I put the feelers out there just to see whoever's listening. And I think it's, you know, people coming and going for the most part. No, like, not as many dedicated listeners. But, man, like, it is so hard to post on social media because I never know what to say.
When I did Blue Sky and TikTok, since I converted my TikTok back to the Backwoods Obscura one, I made a video for the coffin cutters, and then I posted, hey, do y'all like crawfish? Go check out Backwoods Obscura to learn about the coffin cutters.
See, that's cool. That's good. That's something. Like I was like sitting there looking at my at our Patreon. And I'm like, I should post something on here. Just, you know, interaction. They say fan interaction is good.
You know what you need to do? Who's horny for vampires?
I should just post that every week. Just every Tuesday.
Who's horny for vampires?
Every Monday.
Not us. Not us.
I should just post like something that's supposed to be a hint for the next episode, but it's not a hint for the next episode. It's just some random shit. It's like, what the fuck? No, that's not gonna.
Have y'all ever gotten into a fight with a little red man in the city of Detroit and got the city burned down?
But yeah, I mean, it's been okay, and you know, I'm gonna be traveling soon, so going on camping.
You get to go camping. I cannot because we're taking the boy to Six Flags over Texas.
Yeah, so we're both gonna be traveling.
Not next week. I'm not. You will.
Well, I will, but there's gonna be some traveling happening.
Yes, I get to stop at Buc-ee's.
Oh, who doesn't like a good stop? Oh my god.
Yeah, she's at the gate right now yelling.
Yeah. So who doesn't like a good stop at Buc-ee's? Get a nice pulled pork or brisket sandwich, and then.
Here's the deal: is like when we stop, we're also going to be staying at a Drury Inn, so dinner's taken care of.
Right.
I think what Em and I are going to do is just the baby is now a toddler, and she can speak in sentences and answer questions. And she is loud because if she thinks you didn't hear her,
she's going to get louder.
She just gets louder. But this will be the first time I've stopped in a Buc-ee's in like 20 years. And I'm mostly there for the snacks. And also Buc-ee's has beer.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's Buc-ee's brand beer, but if there is Buc-ee's beer. I think
they do what Trader Joe's and stuff does. They do have it.
I'm just saying is if there is a Buc-ee's brand beer, I'm buying Buc-ee's beer to bring back for Brouhaha.
Yeah, that'll be good. But yeah, speaking of, what do you know about roads?
Roads like RHODES or roads ROADS?
The second one.
I know you drive on them.
You drive on them. What else do you know?
People pissing them in Mardi Gras.
Well, I mean, that's Mardi Gras. I'm talking about working man's roads.
They're dirty.
Oh, yeah.
They're barely paved, and because working men often come from a category that thinks taxation is theft. They don't get paved often.
Oh, okay. Yeah. No, so this was actually going to be a few more subjects, but I wanted to go over some haunted roads.
Oh, okay. So you got a couple haunted roads.
I got a couple of haunted roads. They're actually fairly similar, but like I got fixated on these when I was reading them, and I ended up just sticking with these. And there's like other haunted roads I want to do, but also there's a lot of haunted roads with like the white lady and stuff like that, the white bride. And we might just do a whole episode.
We'll just have a white lady. We'll just have a white lady episode.
Hey, what are you doing here? This is private property.
We'll have to. You'll have to drop that on Lennon Night though, as a joke.
Oh my god. Okay, so haunted roads are a fixture around the world for good reason. Traveling is always dangerous. Especially here in Louisiana, we are the, I think, 7th most dangerous state to drive in.
Mississippi is only more dangerous than us because of the number of uninsured drivers. Like,
I mean, there's that.
I hate to say this, like, anytime they go most dangerous places to drive, it's not necessarily just the roads being garbage, because I've driven across this great land, and I will tell you this, other than the interstates, most of the roads are terrible. It's just what really skews those demographics is the number of people who are uninsured, which is one reason Louisiana is so high up on the dangerous driver list.
Yeah. Also, another part is pretty much all of South Louisiana. The I-10 is considered the most dangerous road in Louisiana.
That tracks.
In fact,
especially in Baton Rouge.
Yeah. There's a portion in the Baton Rouge site called the Devil's Triangle, where a stretch of road with lots of traffic, confusing intersections, prone to bad weather.
I've driven through there so many times taking my son to his neurology appointments. Yeah. I can tell you exactly where they are because it's I-10, 210, and 55. Not 55. It's a highway that goes through there that makes a triangle that everything we go to in Baton Rouge is located between.
Yeah, yeah. With that, like, just that road alone had, I think it was either 2023 or 2024. I forgot to put the date here. 700 fatal crashes on that road in 1 year. That is a 270-mile stretch of road. Technically, I-10 goes all the way to Florida, and
it goes from El Paso.
Texas.
It goes from El Paso to.
Yeah, but I'm just talking about that one little bit of road in Louisiana. Another really dangerous road here also is in Mississippi, which I was going to say, you were talking about how Mississippi was a little bit more dangerous.
Mm-hmm.
The historic Blues Highway.
Oh, 61?
Yeah. That's considered one of the most dangerous roads in Louisiana.
I believe it because people decide that medians are for mudding.
Yeah. And also just people speed on it. It has little to no lighting, long stretches, like 10 plus 20 miles of just nothing.
Yeah, that sounds like Mississippi in a nutshell.
Yeah. It's in Louisiana, but it intersects with Mississippi, especially, like, I think it's at the Natchez line.
61 goes from slightly south of Natchez all the way up to Memphis. So anytime we've gone to Memphis, anytime we've gone to see my family, we're on 61.
Yeah. Honorable mentions is U.S. Highway 90, 190, and of course, both of our favorite ones, the I-20. Specifically, the I-20 between Monroe and Shreveport, which has seen, let's see, I didn't put down the crashes. It was higher, I think it was like 50 crashes in a year, fatal crashes. And for the folks listening at home, when I talk about like between Monroe and Shreveport, that's about an hour and a half.
Yeah, it's about 70 to 90 miles depending on traffic, because Shreveport is a half hour from Shreveport.
Yeah, it is a frustrating and it can be a very dangerous drive.
Well, I mean, a lot of that I would put more on the Shreveport end because in the last 15 years, I have not driven through Shreveport without it getting down to one lane east and west. And people take that as a suggestion, not as a what you need to do.
So with our going over our roads, we have dangerous highways, we have less than stellar infrastructure, we have potholes, constant repairs, and poorly planned roadways all account for traffic accidents in the state. And then you pile on things like hitchhiker warnings and the elevated risk of robberies because of all these I actually don't know how much like escaped convicts account for like robberies and murders on our roads.
I don't think it's that much because we mostly have massive billboard sized signs before you get to major penitentiaries to not do that.
Yeah. If you've ever driven through Louisiana, you'll see, it's in most places, but it's nearly every corner in Louisiana. If you drive anywhere through the state, chances are you're going to see a "Do not pick up hitchhikers here" sign, correctional facility, something like that. Less than welcoming towns and are another like big thing, and also the cops' eagerness to pull people over for any reason. Driving here is a bit daunting.
Fair.
But as I said, this isn't so much about the dangers we know of. This is more about the folklore and history. But the reason why I wanted to go over this is because I think like traveling has always had like inherent risk, and we always turn things that are risky. We always build folklore and not history, but we built folklore and we built tales around it. And the main one I want to go over right now, and I want to go over some other roads too, but the road I'm going over now is one that I haven't talked about since like very early in the podcast with the Rougarou episode, the Bayou Sally Road. Bayou Sally Road, spelled Bayou and then S-A-L-E, spelled like sale, it's pronounced Sally. It is in Terrebonne Parish, and it is a 13 stretch of road between Chauvin and Dulac. So it is down there. Dulac, yeah.
Dulac is such a perfect town.
So it was originally, from what I could find, a dirt road for trappers and fishermen in the area, and until the 1930s when it was paved and designated LA 57 with its full 25-mile length from North Cocodrie, I believe I'm pronouncing that right, and Homa. So it goes from like, it's a 23-mile stretch of road, but what we're talking about is like Bayou Sally, which is like a small part. Like many of the small highways in the state, it is a dark, winding road with many places to fall into. It literally runs through a swamp. It's Terrebonne Parish.
Yeah.
What can you say about Terrebonne Parish? It's a swamp. So, the stories around Bayou Sally. What do you think are the stories?
Ghostly individual walking along the side of the road to be picked up as a hitchhiker.
That's a good one. I mean, it's true. That's the big one. So yeah, there are strange apparitions, voices, fou-follet are said to be seen, and shadow people appearing on the road.
Ooh.
And as I believe it's been so long since I listened to the episode, but as I mentioned, there is someone's going to clip that and be like, "No, you didn't. You didn't say it in the Rougarou episode. That episode sucks." No, please don't say that. We're
Hey, look, if we're big enough to get at least one hater, we've done something right.
That's true. But yeah, it is said to have sightings of the Rougarou in this area. But this is not the place where I showed you that picture of the Rougarou body.
No, that was near DeRitter.
Yeah, that was near DeRitter. That's DeRitter fucking wolfhound or whatever the fuck it was.
Oh, no. We're going to come back to that image in a future podcast. Trust me. I got something written down.
Oh my god. So one of the tales, of course, and like I said, we're going to probably talk... Like, I think over the course of, like, a supernatural / urban legend podcast, you're going to be talking about white brides all the time, right? The ghostly bride that, like, died of a broken heart or died
She died waiting from her beau that never returned from Shiloh.
So, there is one on Bayou Sally named the Bayou Bride. Bayou Bride is a woman in white seen on the side of the road. She is said to reach out and touch the vehicle as you drive by. So she doesn't try and, like, you know, wave you down. She's just like, let me touch your car.
I'm sorry, this sounds like a drunk bitch on the side of the road. And I don't mean that to be rude or mean. But, like, who's going to be... This sounds like somebody that got a little drunk, put back on their wedding dress because they can still fit in it, and then the car comes by and they go, woo.
Look. Considering, like, if you see a picture of Bayou Sally Road, it could be either. Really. I mean, if someone's walking that at night...
Is it the Rougarou or a meth head? I ain't stopping.
This is a side. I actually got... Someone tried to sell me drugs when I was on my walk the other day.
A Rougarou came out and tried to sell you drugs?
You want some meth? I'm like, no, man. No, I don't want any. He's like, okay. Just walked away. I'm like...
Most low-key drug dealer.
I'm like, do I look like I do meth? Like, Don't give me that look.
You have no scabs on your face, so I mean,
I have no scabs. I'm not skinny anymore, but no, it was just weird because it was like broad daylight in the Garden District. I go on a walk. I try and walk and stay healthy, keep the circulation going.
This dude just wants to get Oblivion remastered, man. He was selling what he could.
Yeah, he's like, I need that Oblivion remastered. But anyway, so that's basically all she does. Like, there are stories that, she died of a broken heart because her boo did not show up to the wedding, or, she died in a tragic car accident on the side of the road. The other story is a hitchhiker. So, of course.
Standard Ghost Road story.
I mean, there are some, little bit. The reason why I'm talking about them, not because they're super original, is because I do think the idea of someone you're in the middle of the night and someone in a white dress is reaching out for your car seems like it.
That's spoops. That's a little spoops.
Yeah, not even if someone is just on the side of the road, doing the hitchhiker thumb, that's one thing. But if someone's actively coming at your car to try and fuck with you, that's something else. But the hitchhiker is said, to be a hitchhiker on the side of the road, putting the thumb out, as you get closer or slow down toward the hitchhiker, he'll become translucent or disappear. So
that tracks.
Yeah.
We've heard this urban legend before.
Yeah. In some stories, he disappears and reappears in the car and will not leave until you offer him something. Perhaps your soul. Now, I don't think we need to go into the skeptic side of all this, because most of it is just your standard fare. You saw something strange in the middle of the night, or this is just an urban legend or something like that. But there are explanations on why the road is haunted. The road is dangerous, of course. Winding, poorly lit roads in the middle of the swamp. But the other one is actually kind of true. It runs through or crosses over native ground. Now, this is actually kind of true. The United Homa Nation, which is a state-recognized nation down there, which Terrebonne Parish has a bunch of people
from the Homa tribe.
Yeah. And there was actually near Homa, I believe it was in Dulac or Homa, the nation was actually awarded land back recently as 2024 for 2 ceremonial mounds that could have been used for celebrations or burials, things like that. There is no recorded stuff about whether or not this road goes through there. Most of it is just, hearsay, but there is some validity to the fact that there is some native presence there, or there was native grounds there at one point. That's the first road. Now, if we were going to take, just the right a turn in Homa, go a little bit different way, we'll go into the Bois de la Rose, or Bois de la Rose, or let me.
The Mouge Bouche.
The Mouge Bouche. The Bois de la Rose Trail, our road, also known as the Grand Bois, or Grand Bois, I believe it's pronounced. The Homa Shortcut, or LA-24, is a road not far from the Bayou Sally Road that connects, of course, Bourg in Terrebonne Parish and La Rosse and La Forge Parish. It was originally State Route 699, being built on a man-made embankment, and in the 1950s it was unified with another route, Route 69, nice, and became LA-24. It shares many similarities to the Bayou Sally Road. It is long, thin, winding. It's long, thin, and winding. You're laughing at that?
It's your boy, Skinny Penis.
It's your boy, Skinny Penis.
He's gonna say some meth. He's gonna say some meth on the Bouche La Rouge.
Oh, I'm gonna smack you. Oh god. Anyway, it has a lot of vegetation and no lights. God damn it. Like Bayou Sally, it has accounts of the Rougarou seen in the area. It also has accounts of the Foufoulé and mysterious ghostly figures like the the bride and the
She must be walking up a lot of roads, man.
Man, she has great cardio. Maybe it's just one lady that just like maximized her exercise routine so much that she has just been living it for the past 100 or something years. But there is one ghost that differs from all the ones that is on Grand Bois, which is the welcoming white spirit. That came out wrong. For some reason.
Yeah.
The
welcoming white spirit. Come on, y'all. Y'all can all come in here. Nothing to worry about. Y'all can all come inside this house with me. Everything's fine.
Everything's fine over here.
This isn't the movie Get Out. Everything's fine. You come on with me.
Like, okay, so it's explained as a glowing white silhouette person. It doesn't have a hood or anything like that.
So it's just like a glowing outline of a dude.
A glowing outline of a dude that you get good vibes from. That's it. That's the whole thing. It's just a glowing white guy that you're like, hey, this dude's chill. This is a chill ass dude. You know what I mean?
Jesus Christ. A chill ass glowing white dude in the swamp.
He's like, hey man, what's up? What's up? Come get a brewski. Let's sit in the swamp and look at the alligators.
I went to Chernobyl.
I got a little bit of a suntan.
I caught one of the catfish. I fried it. Don't suggest it. I adopted a puppy.
It would be nice to have a Chernobyl puppy, but you can't take them.
No, because they literally are radioactive.
Yeah. You're like, come here. Aw, getting that thyroid cancer.
I'm going to call you melanoma.
Okay, so once again, we go through like the explanations of the different stories that are related to why the road might be haunted. Now, here's the thing with the Grand Bois Road, or the Bois Road. I don't know if it gets the name from this, but there is a small town called Grand Bois in this area that is named after a Loa named Grand Bois. The one of nature, of the woods, of things like that. And of course, this is a area that not only has a lot of native people, like Grand Bois, I think had like 300. When I was looking, it had 300 people, mostly natives. So there is like a lot of talk that the haunting nature of the road might be due to the fact that, voodoo, hoodoo, native presence, things like that. Although it's one of those things that's like, a lot of those stories might have come out when, white people decided to like villainize those things. It's like, oh, they're doing hoodoo out in the woods.
That's why there's a friendly white ghost.
Yeah, there's a God damn it.
If they tell the story about a friendly ghost, definitely a white ghost. All the other stuff could be voodoo.
It's like, don't go towards the shadow bus and go towards the friendly white ghost.
No. I'm just going to stay in my car and drive.
It's like, I'm just going to leave. I'm going. This place is sinking into the ocean. I'm gone.
I'm leaving y'all some White Castle that I brought from Lake Charles.
The Gulf of Mexico is what I mean. Other accounts have the area have haunting because of the history of the area, like slavery. But also, I learned about this. Maybe I just didn't learn it in school, but I didn't know that we sent POWs to America.
Yeah, there was a German POW camp in Ruston.
Yeah, Camp Ruston. And then there was Camp Polk. I forget where that was.
Fort Polk is a military base.
Oh, hey, look at that.
The reason you can tell is because it's named after Confederate General Polk. Just like Fort Bragg, Fort Jackson, Fort Lee, Fort Hood. But if you go up north, there's Fort McKinley. Not McKinley. McDowell, Grant. Like there's in the 50s and 60s, they made a lot of military bases across the country, and they named them after Civil War generals.
I wonder why that was. What was happening in the 1950s to make them do that?
It was supposed to be unity, is what they were saying they were doing, and embracing heritage from the whole country. But that means that I would have just made every single fort in the South Fort Sherman.
Yeah, I think that would have been more unifying to me. I mean, but that's just me, though. Anyway, so...
You know what? I might put a Fort Lee in Wisconsin, just...
There you go. Just place it on there. But some of the POWs would actually be forced into labor in the sugarcane fields in this area. So that's nice. Getting those Italians and Germans to work, I guess. I don't know if they had it. I'm assuming it's Italians because the Italians, as we've discussed before, were some of the worst.
They were some of the worst soldiers in World War II.
Yeah. But I when I was listening to this, there was a lot of different, or when I was looking up this, there's a lot of different, different tales here and there. But Louisiana Dread, I think we actually met
we didn't get to meet him. He was doing a presentation.
Okay.
He walked in and sat down at his table as everybody else left the room. And I'm like, I kind of want to talk to him, but everybody else has left and I have this beer.
It's like, I don't want to look weird. We're sorry, Louisiana Dread. We like your channel.
Support you on both YouTube and TikTok. If you had Blue Sky, I'd add you on there, but you don't.
Yeah. So they were going over some things about this road, and if they ever hear this and hear my pronunciation, I'm sorry. The reason why I'm mentioning this is because I think it's funny, and it's also something that I know for sure that you have heard before. Okay, so on the road, you will run into gang members with their lights off trying to run people off the roads.
Are you talking about Jackson Street here in town?
No, I'm talking about Grand Bois.
Because that's the story for Jackson Street here in our town.
Yeah.
It's Jackson Street and Lee Street are both supposedly haunted, but it's by ghosts of a drive-by.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, when I mentioned that first one, it's not just a haunting, it's just
gang members are going to try to drive you off the road.
Which gang members? In the middle of bumfuck nowhere in Louisiana? I mean, I guess there were probably some gang members somewhere in there, but...
Dude, I taught in Bastrop and I had kids who said they were in a gang.
How big is Bastrop?
4,000. They were the Bussy Break Boys. I got to give them points on the alliteration.
Yeah. I thought you said something completely different for a minute. A couple is stranded and the boyfriend goes for help, only for him to be hanging on a tree above the car with his feet scraping the top.
That's terrible. That's like the Hookman, though.
Yeah, it's the Hookman. It's the Hookman. Satanic groups out in the woods ambushing unsuspecting drivers.
Satanists aren't going to go out in the woods at night. They might try to summon the devil, but they're not going to fuck with an alligator.
Yeah. Of course, L.A. Dread said that none of this was real.
I know.
But what it does give you is kind of it gives us something to laugh about in terms of hearing stuff like this in the past when we were kids, especially growing up the tail end of the Satanic Panic in the 90s.
We lived through 2 Satanic Panics.
And it's also just kind of the start of another myth weaving when it comes to roads like this, because I mean all these stories, just like any other stories like the Rougarou, are, whether they're real or not, whether these hauntings happen, which I'm skeptical of it, it's meant for you to teach you don't fuck around on these roads, don't go too fast, look out for people,
don't go in the woods, something will eat you.
Yeah. So that's about it. I do want to go over some other roads. I think this is a good start when it comes to the roads because it was something I already looked into, and my sources are Louisiana's Most Haunted Roads by Lol Tigers. That is an actual thing. Haunted locations in the Bayou. Lurking in the Louisiana Bayou, ghost monsters and ... weird darkness. Haunted... Why do I suck so bad? Haunted Bourg La Rosse Road. A Psychic Highway. Creepy Swamp Legends of Louisiana. The Most Haunted Road in Louisiana, Bayou Sally Road. Julia Adventures on Facebook. Bayou Wild, Ghosts of the Bayou. Louisiana Dread. Bourg La Rosse Road, our highway. Weird Darkness, Stories of the Paranormal, Bourg La Rosse Highway, Haunted Road, also known as Grand Bois. United Home and Nation receives historic donation of sacred Indian mounds. Haunted Locations Louisiana for Ghost Quest, and Whispers from the Bayou, exploring Louisiana's most haunted locales, Maxwell Journeys.
Nice. Cool. A road to suggest to you that is on the list, Juju Road in Bossier.
I was looking at that. I decided to go with Bayou Sally. I wanted to do like a big list, but I figured like I don't want to like overload one episode with too many
roads.
Yeah, and again, like this one had some of the typical ghosts with their own little flair, but I like talking about them because they're interesting roads. But anyway, we are Backwoods Obscura. We release every Tuesday. We are on Blue Sky, TikTok, and Patreon, and we are also on Facebook. You can catch us out there. Just interact or say, "Hey, your podcast sucks." I don't know. Do what you want to do. Actually,
if it's Blue Sky or TikTok, I will back at you.
He will back at you. He will get sassy. But anyway, we are also Team Bonus Action.
Team Bonus Action is a group of friends who like to play D&D on Sunday and Mondays. We are currently unofficially sending donations to the Trevor Project and the ACLU. So if you can donate, that'd be greatly appreciated. And starting next month until the month of August, it will be to St. Jude's Medical Center. So if you can make any donations, we would greatly appreciate it. Thank you very much.
And with that, I hope you have a good day or night or whatever time it is over there.
Feet touching the top of the car.
Oh no.
He's going to scuff his Pumas.